Hi, I'm Tanner with Well Played, and today I'll be giving a brief overview of these 4 classic games. Just as a disclaimer, this video is going to give you a brief overview of the game and how to win, but not an in-depth rules explanation. The Game of Life is a simple family game where players will take turns spinning the wheel and moving their car that many spaces. Depending on what space they land on, they draw the associated card. The goal of the game is to have the most money once you reach retirement at the end of the board. Clue is the classic deduction game for 2 to 6 players that plays in around 30 to 45 minutes. The goal of the game is to figure out who committed the murder. On a player's turn, they will roll the die, move their character, and if they enter their character into a room, they'll make an accusation. If other characters have cards that relate to that accusation, they'll compare them and make secret notes. Once a player believes they know who committed the murder, in what room, and with what weapon, they will then make an announcement. If their announcement is correct, they'll win the game. If they're incorrect, they're out of the game, and all of their secret information will become available to the rest of the players. The first person to guess correct will win. Sorry is a take-that-style pawn movement game for 2 to 4 players that plays in about 15 minutes. On a player's turn, a player will flip over the top card of the deck, and then they'll move one of their pieces up to that many spaces. All players' pieces start in the starting section of their board. For example, if yellow were to draw this 3, they would then move one of their pieces across this arrow to this space, and then 2 additional spaces in a clockwise motion. The goal of the game is to get all of your pieces back to your home space. If you land by exact count on the arrow of a slide space, you will then slide all the way to the end of it. If your movement would land onto another player's piece, you will then send them back to their start space. Only a player of the associated color may enter their safety zone, and you can only reach the home space by exact count. So in this case, the yellow player would need to draw exactly a 4 to reach this spot. Once one player gets all 3 of their pieces to their home space, they win the game. Monopoly is the classic property acquisition game for 2 to 6 players and plays in over an hour. On a player's turn, they will roll the 2 dice, combine their values, and then move their piece that far on the board. If they land on a property that is not owned by anyone, they may choose to pay the price that is listed on the board, finding the property card inside of the deck and placing it in front of them. If they do not wish to pay that price, they may then place the property up for auction, acting as the auctioneer. They may also participate in the auction to win the property. If the property is already owned by another player, they will have to pay that player rent, as indicated by the card of the property. And if the space that a player lands on is not any form of property, they will then do the special action for it. Play will continue this way in a clockwise fashion, with players also making their way clockwise around the board. Every time a player lands on or passes go, they will collect $200 additional dollars. Players may also spend money to place either houses or hotels on their properties, to ensure that when their opponents land on them, they have to pay a higher rent. The goal of the game is to drive all other players into bankruptcy. If you're the only one remaining, you're the winner. I hope these brief tutorials have been helpful to you, and we hope that you enjoyed the content. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.